Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days in which to revise and extend their remarks.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself now such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I urge members to support the U.S. Manufacturing Enhancement Act of 2010, also known as the Miscellaneous Tariff Bill, MTB. The MTB temporarily reduces or suspends tariffs on raw materials and components used in U.S. manufacturing. This bill is a shot in the arm for U.S. manufacturers and workers who need these products to keep making their goods and supporting American jobs. I want to underscore that point. This bill supports U.S. manufacturing jobs. Provisions in this bill reduce tariffs on inputs that are used for numerous industries, including chemical, pharmaceutical, automotive, agricultural, textiles, electronics, machinery, and equipment. When the cost of these inputs is lowered, U.S. producers' overall costs are reduced, making their products more competitive in this market and globally. And that increased competitiveness translates into increased production and more jobs. All of these provisions have been extensively vetted to ensure that the inputs covered any tariff suspensions are not made here. In the vetting process, there's review by the administration, by the independent ITC, and also there's an opportunity for public comment. And so as a result, we have, for example, the 2 leading textile associations who represent an industry that's been hard hit by global competition, viewing the MTB as key to their competitiveness. I quote NCTO saying MTB is a critical cost reduction measure for many manufacturers, supporting domestic production and employment. And that's why the bill is supported by U.S. manufacturing. The NAM has said this about MTB: one of the most, and I quote, important short-term actions Congress can take to preserve and expand good American jobs, cut the cost of doing business in the U.S., and boost American manufacturing exports. And the U.S. Chamber has said alike, the same thing. We have been, in the past, considering duty suspension bills like this since the 97th Congress, and usually, indeed in every case, they have been non-controversial and supported on a bipartisan basis. And I quote 2 documents recently put out by Ways and Means Republicans, my colleagues. I quote from that put out under the name of our ranking member, the distinguished member from Michigan, David Camp. And I quote, description of the MTB: the bill helps U.S. manufacturers and their employees compete by temporarily reducing duties on foreign-made intermediate products or materials and some finished products that are not made domestically or where there is no domestic opposition. Such reductions or suspensions reduce the cost for U.S. employers. If there's any objection to a specific provision, such as because a U.S. manufacturer is identified, the item is dropped from the bill. I also quote a recent statement by the ranking member, Mr. Brady, on the Subcommittee on Trade, and I quote, this traditionally bipartisan legislation reduces unnecessary costs for American business and consumers and increases U.S. competitiveness. A model of transparency, the bill is carefully vetted during a long public process to ensure domestic producers are protected. As the ranking member of the Trade Subcommittee of Ways and Means, I have long been a strong advocate for it.